best and entrepreneurs possible, and how we can make wise money decisions when we're really constructing our business from the ground up. And so I get excited about this because I think one of the things about, I think from a child, I've always had a vivid imagination, so I didn't need a whole lot of people to get me excited about anything. So I was constantly bombarded with business ideas, and I still get this, you know. I remember I taught at, where did I teach? I taught a whole lot of places, but I think it was, at BTVI. I did an entrepreneur class, ship class, and I was telling the person, like, you know, think outside of the box. As a matter of fact, destroy the box. And I had this really good idea at the time, and I think I might have told one student who really leaped onto it. It's like, you know, why everybody go to the liquor store? Why don't you have a liquor mobile on wheel? And I see now, I think he's doing it right now. And you know, just different ideas that we get to think about to really expand just our creativity. So, I have the task tonight of really talking about ways to finance your business. We can all agree that we need money to start and expand a business. As a small business owner, the elephant in the room is always money. And I think in a lot of homes, the idea is always money. We need money, 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 money. To buy products, to rent a space, to pay employees, we need money. And in a lot of instances, we talk ourselves out of starting or continuing to stay in business because we don't have money. That's what we think. And so tonight, I want to just challenge you and just really flip that thinking, no, that's absolutely not true. At this point, we can easily get into the blame game when we talk about why we don't have money. It's the government fault that the humans are not making it in business. Y'all agree or y'all disagree? Disagree. Okay. Or it's because the foreigners come in and the government offer them more concessions and grant them their will, and they're beckoning at the call of the white man or the Chinese, that we are not, we tend to think that we're not doing what good. Whatever the obstacle tonight, I just want us to focus on the solution. And tonight I'm really going to just share some things from my heart that I'm observing and noticing, even as a HR manager, an educator, and someone who's passionate about finance. Now, there are many ways that we could finance a business. But first of all, you got to think of an idea that really works, that really makes sense. So some things, I don't want to call it, well, impossible, but sometimes you just really need to refocus an idea. So my challenge for anybody who wants to get into business is to really research whatever you want to do. I mean, there are tons of opportunities. I remember my first, I had lots of businesses. I remember I was so broke when I first came back home from school. I was teaching. And trust me, teaching don't pay no money, especially private schools. I was broke, busted, and disgusted. First of all, because I understood the principle of faith, because I really lived by faith. Me and my daughter, we would ride around Nassau looking for a place. And somehow a cousin of mine who was a lawyer was like, hey, this guy just is about to sell his place, you can go ahead and look at it. I looked at it, I told the guy, look, I'm interested in this place, not having $1. But I think when you have a vision, because I'm passionate about really writing down your vision. I ended up getting the place. I ended up finding somebody in the bank who just, I don't know, I got a place debt-free. I mean, not debt-free, but didn't have to pay a down payment, which is amazing even now, but just a testimony of walking by faith. But we got in there and we needed to make money. And then I just remember that you use what's in your hand. I would go around Nassau selling cakes out of my car. And I'm like, look, even if this cake dry and can hit you and kill you, look, my smile on my face, and the matter of fact is, I have a smiley daughter. When she smiles, she just lights up the room. You know, can you please buy a cake? That was it. Everybody, even if you felt sorry for us, you bought it. And that's how we made it. But it opened up a door of opportunities for me to say, you know what? money out there. And then I had this grand idea, and this thought just came to me, people are living good, and might as well be me. And I think the reality of that hit home to me when I started working in Life and Key, Life and Key House, working for an offshore oil company. My sisters and brothers, people living good in this country. And unfortunately, it's not a whole lot of Bahamians. Because we have not realized that out there for us, there's more to Pinewood than there. But if you choose to stay here, it's fine. But like a little dog, you can keep trucking along, and there's another place that where wealth is that we deserve to be in too. So whatever you plan and whatever you purpose for in terms of your wealth, that's exactly what it is. If you think that look, $700 a month is good enough for you, that's exactly what you will make, and that's exactly what you're going to attract and manifest. So let me not get ahead of myself. So how do I finance my business, and how can I be financial savvy to grow my business? Well, of course, you can invest in your own business. You know, everybody always talk about, well, ain't no money out there, but have you decided to invest in your business? I mean, are you capable, do you believe in your business enough to invest in it? To take your hard-earned money to invest in it? Well, some person might say, well, I ain't got no money, but you know what? Look, you start where you're at. If you want a dress shop, you don't go look for the shop. You start where you are. I mean, people selling anything on Facebook now. So we have no excuse for success. And so this is what I want to hit home to you. Look, money attracts itself to people who believe it will come to them. And if you're looking in the right direction, if you change your focus from, I don't have any money, or I ain't nothing happening my way, the government ain't working for me, the FNM in, the PLP in, the DNA was supposed to get it, but they cheat. All the list of the story, well, my MP was supposed to get me a job, but that didn't work. Let me tell you something, you will stay stuck. And so it's time that we get unstuck in terms of taking ownership of our financial freedom. Money out there to be made. People coming into this country every day, and believe me, they're making money. So when you get all of the excuses out and say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and invest in my business, my idea. Let me tell you something, you are unstoppable, because that's what you're made of. Unstoppable, you are, your feet, you are engineered for success. And that's not what I believe. You are engineered for success, so guess what? The first thing you need to be is really be able to invest in yourself. And, oh, well, I don't have any money. Start right where you are. Go bake that cake, go sell that clothes. I was surprised the other day, I decided to just go through my house and have a garage sale. I made some good money. You know, so there is no excuse for success. If you could flip, cook, make macaroni, you could go and do it on the side of the street here, or whatever, but the potential exists as long as you're ready to start. Then my next thing for persons who really start in business is to start small. If money is a challenge and you believe in your business concept, start small and grow your business. This is important because you balance your risk by not investing everything in the business, and you do not, and so you don't destabilize your home. So just start small. Gradually start small. I think that's one of the problems sometimes that people find themselves in when they talk about, oh, I'm getting into business. You know, start small. You don't need to go ahead. Oh, I made one mistake. I would say, well, not a mistake, but I wouldn't do it again. I went ahead and I rented a storefront. Now, I don't know where these people get these prices out of their head, but I was paying $1,200 a month for a place on Marathon that I had a school, Summer Learning Center, one of the many ideas that I had. But now if I had worked the plan better, because the plan was my school was actually one of the first, well, my concept of an office space was basically one of the first concept of shared office space. But because I got afraid after the first year, oh, this money, I didn't work it like I should. So honestly, I was just better off just doing that in my classroom for my adult learners right in my home. I mean, I could have set up the same chairs and the same desk right there. So really think about starting small. I mean, it just Start, know your business and then grow your business. Know your business, then grow your business. You got to know it and be confident in it, and this concept really works, and then you watch it grow. It's just something about diligence that really makes a difference in any business concept that you have. Well, of course, you could go to the bank, but you know what? We all know that the banks right now are just, look, what you got to come up with, collateral like your house, your car, your shoe, your socks, everything. So the lengthy process of the banks, that's a major disadvantage that you'll have, and all of the documentations that you need. Because you'll find that a lot of small businesses, they tend not to keep good records or good
paper trail.
Thank you. Right. So you can't go to the bank with any old thing, and a lot of the small businesses really don't have a good business plan. Because I was really trying to see how best to really talk to you tonight, but that would have been something that I really focused. I would have focused really hard on, really the setting up a good business plan. And let me tell you something. We have no excuse, because guess what? We have the mighty Google. You can know anything within a second, but anyone. And anything. I mean, just go online, and there are tons of business plans concerning what you're interested in. All right. So going to the bank, I don't recommend it, but the advantage of going to the bank is simply this: if you get a loan, and my God, if God favors you, if the bank favors you to the point where you can actually get a loan, hats off to you. And you take a longer term to pay. So in that way that you'll have more cash flow concerning your business. So everything that you make, you don't necessarily have to spill into the business. All right? So once you establish a good history at the bank, and I encourage you as entrepreneurs that you really have to be, instead of every minute spending the money, if you make $20 today from a business, go ahead and put it in the bank. Let the bank see you're consistent in putting your money in. I cannot, and that is so important, because you need to have a track record. I find a whole lot of people don't have a track record with nothing. You understand? In terms of the bills, you want the bank to lend you money, but you're not faithful with even paying your rent, your water bill, your light bill, or whatever bill. You understand? So as simple as making sure that as a small business, you set up your business right, because there's no excuse for that right now. Even if you want to establish a business, you can go right down onto Michael, get all the information that you need to set up a business. But I'm telling you, if you really want to really tap into banks, let them see your consistency in terms of how you make your payments, how you deposit that simple thing every day, even if you take it right out. The trick is just to keep it flowing in and then take it out. All right. So once you can establish different facilities at the bank. Well, okay, they can say you're probably not qualified for a loan, but you can ask them for an overdraft facility, where if you need to write a check, they can extend credit maybe for 30 days or whatever have you. Or you can go ahead and ask for a credit card. You might, if things happen. I know a good girlfriend of mine. She has a few of them that we work with in their businesses. All of them have credit cards from companies that usually say, you hear Bahamians talking about, well, this bank up the street don't lend money. I'll tell you an interesting story, and this happened to me while in university. Well, the scholar is not going to lie to you. But when I get it, you can come look at me. I guarantee I'll pay it off. And so said, so done. And that's people of integrity. Just speak the truth, all right? Hey, just anybody you owe, just look here. Let them call you. You can be surprised in some instances. I mean, you call them, look, I know I owe you, and I can pay you when I get it. Look, a dead man can't pay no bill, right? So let me tell you something, I refuse to be stressed about money, because that ain't my portion. As a matter of fact, my declaration is, look here, I'm in my wealthy place. I have wealth coming out of my air. Money comes to me from east to west and north to south. I believe that. Let me tell you something, I don't think small and I don't think black. And I'm telling you, you'll have broke days, but if you keep focusing on that, you have to literally change your mindset on money. But that's another story, but let's get back to that. Alright, so you establish your line of credit. A good thing, believe it or not, and a lot of Bahamians I know I just need to tap into this because I had another client of mine. She brings in supplies from a place in Florida. And she was really strapped. I came into her store and I was like, how come you don't have all your stuff? Well, she didn't have any money to buy the supplies. I said, you've had a relationship with this person now for the past 4 or 5 years. Call them up, write them a letter, and just tell them, look, I need you to send my supplies and give me 30 days or 60 days to make the payment. And this works out beautifully. They have her credit card online, so every 30 or 60 days, they'll take the monies off the account. So it gives her enough time to balance the cash flow. Because if you understand about the financial statements, you'll know that you constantly need cash flow to make your business successful. So it makes no sense. You need chicken to cook with, but you don't got no money to buy it. All right? If you have a good, and that's why I'm talking about relationships, people are so important in being a person of integrity. There's no shortcut around this. As simple as, look, okay, you've seen my history of payment. Look, can you advance me the supplies? And I'll pay back in 30 days. So you'll be surprised at how that really works, okay? So really another way again is establishing credit lines with vendors, all right? Now I'm going to touch on this next topic that a lot of people are like, I know it's true, but Bahamians don't work together. Look, stop saying that. Say some of y'all who work together, right? We need to stop being so negative. Partnership. This really works. I have a good friend downtown. She decided that she wanted to be downtown in a plaza. Now the rent is ridiculous. All right. So anyhow, that's why I have a major problem with this downtown renovation that they're doing, because the same, we going back in history with the same set of family who own it and who benefited from that. But anyhow, I'm telling you right now, the rent is like maybe $3,000-$4,000 a month that she pays down there for a small space. So what she decided to do is to get a few persons together, and so 3 or 4 of them have all that stuff in there, all things being right in there, and they making it work. So guess what? They're able now to go ahead and hit home with the big boys, from the other side of the pigmentation that we're on, and they're able to draw in people off the cruise ship to come into the shop. And so far, this is their second year, and they're doing very well. That's what you call teamwork. They have a system in place. Look here, your little corner over there, my corner over here. Let's get it done. We know on the 15th the rent due. Let's put it in. And so far it has worked well. So you cannot tell me that we can't work together. So partnership. So you see how they were able to slice up that same one space and to make that work? As a matter of fact, I have a business idea, and if they can just let me stay by the door, I'm asking them to help me out on that end. But this is what it is. We can work together. There's no sense us rent a space and we can't pay today, you running behind and the landlord looking for you. Have other persons help with that. That's what it's called, shared space. And you notice right now that shared space is the thing to go. Everybody talking about shared space. Honestly, like, hey, why didn't we think about this? All right. So we're talking about financing your business. If you think you need a storefront, then that's an ideal thing. Now, so partnership, and then I don't want to get too much into the technicalities of equity financing, but equity financing is simply like this. You have a business idea. I want to go ahead and start a motorcycle company. I only have $10,000, and for sure, $10,000 can only buy four motorbikes. So I invite my brother or my cousin or you to come into the business. Okay, you lend me $5,000 and I'll give you a 10% equity or 20% equity in the business. So it's no longer just my business. All right, but I still manage it or whatever because I have the majority of shares. That's a good thing and a bad thing because if you lose some of your equity, which is fine. See, because I think now we have to get out of this old mentality. Walmart has shareholders. Microsoft has shareholders. Yeah, they are majority shareholders, but they're shareholders. So this mindset of it's mine. Look, if you want to expand, that's the best way to go. Of course, all of us have watched Shark Tank before, right?
Yes.
Right. But you have to have a track record and a proven record of something that really works. Like I just another idea, because ideas just tend to flow through me. It's like, you know what? Why some of us right now don't capitalize? Like you got to get tired in our store. On one of the family islands, let's build together something. We rent it out. Somebody's in charge of it. Rent out. Everything is documented because everything is in black and white. And we go through the legal process. Not she say, I say, well, I didn't tell her this long time. That piece over there is not. Look, we have to get past this because everything we do now, we do in excellence. And we have no excuses. I mean, right down to the documentation and the legal verbiage is online about everything. So I'm just trying to teach you how to expand yourself. Because honestly, at this stage in the game right now, we need to leave solid legacies. And I ain't dying broke. That ain't my question.
No.
Wealth and riches is in my home. I always tell the story because I work out, going out like Vicky. Me and my daughter was in the car. And we're storytellers. I love to tell stories. And we saw this dog, this pot cake by, that's Lakeview, right? And he was walking all alone down by going in the direction of west. Well, for a dog, living on west is a whole new ball game. I made it different from living in Pinewood. Because when you keep going, and I said to that little dog, listen dog, keep going, because guess what? When you reach past that third roundabout, it all over. Because guess what? Them people, they will take you there. My God, here. You don't have your own doctor. You're a doctor who going to school for choo. You're going to have the maids taking care of you, and you're going to be in air conditioned outside. Man, outside is off the pass.
And that's the pyramids.
Listen, all you had to do was keep trucking. And don't let nobody say, where you going? That's a lonely word down there. And so I always use that analogy to say, let me tell you something. Once you start thinking big about some things in life, let me tell you something. It is unstoppable. And guess what? Like I used to tell my students, dreams are free. Dream big. But I might as well dream, because I have no husband yet. I might as well dream for a husband with money. I just say it.
Thank you.
You know, I might as well dream about and write your vision down. It's like I'm a living witness on the power of vision. I need to travel to the motherland. I need to go to Africa. I've already done the Europe thing. And let me tell you something. I ain't no different from nobody. The only difference between me is I said to myself, people living good, and it might as well be good living me. Why I have to be thinking that I don't have no money for food? I need to choose what I want when I want. You understand? When I teach people on really negotiating skills, when they come in and talk about how much they will make, help me understand that for real. What do you think a good salary is? How much? What is a good salary?
100,000.
Something that you have. 4,400 for a month?
Yeah.
4,400 a month. So that works out for, let's say, 45. 45 times 12 is what? Anybody have a calculator? 45 times 12. Well, let's say 4 times 12. Let's say 48. So maybe about 60,000. Let's say 5,000 you need to be. 5,000. How many you think that's doable? You think you
No, I need more.
Personally, it's doable.
Right.
But overall,
Why not? See, you just negated what you just said. You said it's possible, but it's not what?
That's not sustainable when you begin to look at it.
What?
Go.
$5,000 a month is not sustainable? Are you insane?
It's hard.
No way!
No, it's hard. Because see, my daughter's in college.
Exactly.
Okay, so what?
So.
You saying that you can't make $5,000 a month?
No, I'm saying to live up that side.
Okay, you need more than that.
Yeah.
You need more.
Okay,
You said personal.
Yeah.
Personal is fine.
Right. I'm looking at it like, okay, I had an argument with a lady. She has a house already. She already paid all the mortgage.
Now let's be real when it comes to family and money. That really, I mean, that's a fine line, okay? So, my recommendation if you go into family and friends for money, make sure you have a written documentation saying the terms of this. Look, I can only pay you $10 a week. And like I always say, remember, integrity is our standard. So guess what? If you're unable to pay that person that money, please, please, please go to that person and say, look, I don't want to lose our friendship. Well, I mean, your family, I mean, they can talk about it, but then I figure they talk about it, okay? So, you understand? And just let them know the truth. But I think one of the things that I'm going to tell you is that you better have a good written documentation about this. Because the next thing you know, well, that's my business, because guess what? I put money in this. She would have never made it if I didn't help her. No, you loan me this money and here's the terms of this. You told me I could pay you back $50 every month for 6 months. You told me this for this. And I want you guys to use that principle wherever. Now, if you tell the person that you're going to pay them back at all costs. All right, at all costs. If it means you selling your car, your shoes, or something to keep your good name, and besides that, to keep peace, do it. All right, that's my recommendation. All right, so make sure with family and friends, if you're doing it, just pray about it first before you ask. All right. And then we talk about it. The next thing is crowdfunding. Like GoFundMe, you find a lot of persons right now with medical issues asking for donations or whatever have you. Now the thing with GoFunding, crowdfunding is like, it's like you need $5,000, but one person over here giving you $10, one person over here giving you $10. So it takes longer for the process to happen. And sometimes in a lot of cases it does not happen. And you know, people just, and I guess in this instance it depends on really how many people you know and how many people are moved by what it is that you're doing. Okay, so you'll always have the naysayers, but let me wake up and let you say, you could be doing something good and you can have naysayers. You could be like Noah trying to build an ark for people to come and sense, and they still will talk and laugh at you. So you just keep focused to your vision and keep at it. Alright? So, everybody's trying to, so far what I'm talking about funding your business. But before I get into funding, and I didn't want to get so deep into this, I think people need to know, and you need to understand how much it is that you really need before you go out and decide that you think you need funding. Alright? Because for a business idea, anybody has a business idea they want to quickly share?
I designed a web shop game. I said fellas made millions and billions of numbers, so I decided to try and sell the alphabet. So it's a spinning game concept. The game is already designed and everything. I just need some funding now for the development of the game.
Okay. Where have you, and so how much do you think you need?
For starters, about $150,000.
How do you know that?
I did some research.
You did some research. Okay, that's good. So if you have an idea as to you need $100,000, and so when you're looking for funds, honestly, one of the things that you really have to do, well, first of all, you have to change your mindset that there ain't no money up there, because there is money up there.
Plenty money up there.
Yeah, plenty. But you have to go in the direction.
I was just saying, it's good, like your business idea is good. You made a nurse, I mean, everybody's not a nurse in here. But you have ways that you can make money, you can make money into it. We have clients that just need somebody to pay their relative. And they pay you, and you only take like about half an hour, that's not to make them. They take like $50 to $60. You need somebody to take their clothes to be washed or cleaned, and they pay you for that. Just to exercise with them, walk with them. So things that you can do, I mean, within that's a business, because you can imagine you have 24 hours within a day. And you say with 8 hours of that, I'm going to book people, they want me to do this, they want to pay that client, go out for exercise with a client. And before you could be bringing home more than $500 within one day.
That's it? It's just amazing.
Yeah, amazing. So you can do something like that until you actually get a funding to to actually do that type of business. A person be calling me just to do that, not take me up now to be a client or just to exercise with them or just talk with them. Just they accompany the elderly, so that's on the rise.
Right. And honestly, there are tons of ways that you can make money. Definitely tons of ways to make money. But I wanted to go back to his idea with the web. You have a real good advisor to help you through and navigate through all of the things. Okay? Any questions? I still have time? Okay, go ahead.
How would you advise a person, because so many times we have so many good ideas for businesses. Let's say me. I'm a teacher in like 3 different areas. We don't have skills. But how do you make that decision to say which one actually is the one to actually go out? Because it can be confusing when you're trying to start a small business and you're so,
Yeah. Let me tell you something. That is such a good question. And I am even navigating that too. Because like I said at the beginning, like I can think of 1,001 ideas. But you know what I've discovered? Like, now let's think about it. The Bible tells you put your hands up. Whatever you put your hands to, you will prosper. So you have to just, honestly, I literally started this principle of just learning how to be quiet and still. And just going with the peace. Because honestly, that's it. Because then you'll talk to this one that, oh, that's a good idea. You'll talk to the same one, and then you constantly. But the idea is, honestly, in order to do this successfully, because trust me, that's where I've been stuck for years. You just got to decide on one thing. End the story. After you done look at all the pros and cons, okay, what do I really want to do? You know where it is? Backpedal. Like, a year from now, would I want to be selling by the tours of letting people rent motorbikes or whatever have you? Or would I be wanting to really focus on my HR expertise? And see where your expertise really lie. Like, what do you want? I want to be able to be helping people, not selling motor tours. And that's an easy way to make some money. I still think I would do it. But, so really, it really ties down to what it is that you really want. And I tell you, sometimes when you talk to somebody from the outside, it really gives you a better perspective. Ain't nothing wrong, let me just throw this in, ain't nothing wrong with sometimes even sitting down and talk to people. I don't know where we as the humans think that that's so wrong, or we're so weak, or we don't pray about it and stuff like that. Even then, I think you need to sit down and talk to somebody. But just having somebody to thrash out some ideas, okay, now look. You got to put in 10 hours over here, you do this now, and give you the reality check of this, where as opposed to just, doing something else. So, but it's deciding on one, and not looking to the left nor to the right, and say, I can do this. And having somebody to keep you accountable.